I'm live, and I'm still making adjustments here. Somehow, I went to a narrower screen. We'll get it. Give me 1 second. That's good. That's good. I think that's good. We are back, all you groovy guys and gals. We are joined by Doodle, the Prince of Dogness, and a cast of dozens. Well, maybe not dozens yet. A cast of 4. Well, according to the number, it says 4. Now it says 3. It says there's less people. I can count more than that. I see Tom. Tom was in early, and Janice, and Miguel. Maybe that is 3. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll have some other people joining us shortly. Everybody's saying their niceties. Doodle needs a snack, apparently, because he's doing air balls on the chair here. So we will get him a snack so he doesn't explode. How is everybody? And, you can speak for everybody if you want. Let's see if he likes that. There he goes. And he's going to eat it right here. Okay. He's gonna stay with us and eat it right here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ice Hand. Welcome. Glad you could make it. The number's climbing again. So now we're up to 6. If we can believe that number. All right. I think we need to move this down a little bit. Maybe. Let's see. That's probably going to be okay. What do you guys think? You think it's going to be okay? I think it's going to be okay. All right. Let me just do some moving around here. So as you have probably surmised, we are still in Colombia, probably for another couple of weeks. We'll be in Colombia for another couple of weeks. And so therefore, we are going to bring you another live stream, or another Colombian Treats live stream. So we were going to feature Colombian beverages and snacks. I would like, at some point in time, I think I would like to do a more substantial thing, like where we're doing, sort of a meal kind of thing. Maybe next week we'll do something like that. Like we'll stop at the market and get some prepared food stuff that might be like more food. Like, I don't think we need to get as many, because we'll enjoy that as a meal. So who else snuck in? Oh, Jared snuck in. Welcome, Jared. Glad you could make it. Again, we are joined by Doodle, the Prince of Dogness, who just seems to be a little bit restless today. I can't give you a bunch of snacks. Anyway, I'm going to give you one of these. These are from Trader Joe's. These are different than the one I usually get them. This is freeze-dried chicken. And I think, the only ingredients in here are chicken breasts. So we're not like the jerky kind of things that we give them before. These are a little bit different. They're just, it's freeze-dried chicken. Look, they're just like little chicken bites. You know what? Hang on a second. It's like eating wood. Yeah, it's really weird. No, let's see if he likes it. That's the important thing. The important thing is that he likes it. By the way, Jared said hello. Oh, and then the chicken flavor comes in afterwards. So after it reconstitutes a little bit, you do get that chicken flavor. I think I like the chicken strips better, the smoked chicken strips. I think I like those better. These do taste like chicken breast, but chicken breast is my least favorite cut of chicken because it tends to be like dry, and this is. So it's freeze-dried, so of course it's dry. So I'm not a big fan of those. They're not bad. It tastes like chicken breast, which is, again, not my favorite. John King has joined us early. Welcome, John. I'm glad you could make it. Hey, if you feed Doodle freeze-dried treats, does it give him brain freeze? Only if I keep them in the freezer, I think. So, numbers climbing up. Where are we? Over here. Numbers climbing up to 8. Hopefully, we'll get some more people in the room, and we will get started. Have some interesting things today. I will tell you that, guys, that sometimes I go to the market, and on Saturday's the market, and I get the corn, what do they call that? Mazorca. Mazorca is what they call it. That roasted corn on the cob, mazorca. It's a lot different than elote. The corn's a lot different down here. And so while we're at the market, I think it was last week, we picked up 3 interesting things. Now, I know I always put the focus on Colombian, like it seems like they're doing Colombian fruits. Today we have a Colombian fruit and no, actually they're technically, they're both fruits today. But this is a fruit. But we did, we found 3 vegetables I thought were very, very interesting. And we filmed an episode. So Claudia helped prepare this meal, and we had it was really, really good. So one is pepinos rellenos, which is the stuffed pepino. And pepino it looks like a pepper. It's actually in the cucumber family. It's kind of weird. The other one is cubio. And cubio, it looks like some kind of larva thing, but it's what is the word? It's not a root vegetable. It's like a peanut or a potato that kind of grows on roots. They call it something with, there's the letter Z in it. I can't recall the name, but we did that, and then we did papas criollas, which are Creole potatoes. I don't know why they call them Creole potatoes. I mean, it's a different type of potato. Little kind of yellow potatoes. Oh my God, they're so good. So we filmed an episode yesterday. We made a nice meal out of those 3 things, and so I thought I should put some kind of focus on Colombian vegetables because we always seem to focus on Colombian fruits. So there we go. Who else came into the room? I saw somebody. Oh, Jules is here. Hi, Jules. Hi, hon. How you doing? Hi, beautiful Julie. We have the Prince of Dogness is here with us. Doodle, the Prince of Dogness. He smells chicken on my breath. Yes, you're always welcome here, Doodle. This is your house too, Doodle. And Nashies is here. Welcome, Nashies. Nashies told us that she would be here. She posted something and she said, "Yay, see you Saturday." So that thing came loose there. I gotta fix this. Bear with me. There's not a bear with me. There's a dog with me, but you get what I'm saying, right? Doodle, what is it that you smell that you absolutely have to have? Because I'm not going to give you a bunch of snacks. I'm going to give you one more of these snacks, the little tiny biscuity snacks. And this is made with like grains and stuff. It's made with grains and it's made with like beef stock, vanilla for some bizarre reason, margarine, and I think it's brown rice and oatmeal. So good stuff for him. It actually tastes good. I like them too, but I'm saving them for him. All right. Who else? Are we waiting for anybody else? We're waiting for a bunch of people. Yeah. So it's again, it's going to be a very interesting episode. Now, I don't know how close attention you guys pay to the notes, the notification, the thumbnail, the notes in the live stream notes. How much you pay attention to that, but our I don't want to call it a soft drink, but our non-adult beverage today is going to be, it would be unfair to call it chocolate milk, but we'll kind of get to that. But to make it requires milk. And I'm looking in the refrigerator to see, so I have oat milk, and I thought about using oat milk, but then I thought, I don't know if I want to use oat milk. And we didn't have milk in the refrigerator, and so I'm looking at it and I'm going like, I don't know, like I don't want to drink milk because I'm lactose intolerant and everything. And then I noticed, so first of all, you see where it says descremada, that means skim milk. It's skim milk. They take the cream off of it, right? So that's descremada. It's saying cero grasa, which is 0 fat. And then the thing that I love is down here in little letters, it says deslactosada, which means lactose free. So we're good here. We have nice milk. It's fat free. It's lactose free. So I think we're going to do okay. And so the instructions, the ingredient or the instructions on how to make this beverage tells you to use skim milk. So I just lucked out. We just happen to have that. So we're good. So Doodle is an opium. Doodle is a chicken addict. So all this chicken snacks. He's addicted to chicken snacks. Doodle, the Prince of Dogness, everybody. He's so lucky he's cute. He's just really lucky he's cute. So what keeps him alive is his cuteness. Could have always asked your bovine neighbor in a pinch. We have not seen our bovine neighbor in a while, and I think somebody said because she's calving, which means she's having a baby cow. She's having a calf, and so she has not been out in the field where we threw the tarantula. She has not been out in the field, so it is what it is. Babies, yes, baby cows, veal, as we like to say. I know not everybody likes it. I say that, but it is veal. Baby cow is veal. The babies always taste better, and I don't mean that in a like a horrific sense, but like veal or cabrito. Baby goat, when they roast the baby goat, always better than an adult goat. Don't get me wrong. I mean, who doesn't love goat birria, right? Have you guys ever had goat birria? How many? Show of hands. Who's had goat birria? So you live by a farm? No, actually, Adam, I don't live by a farm. So it's so weird. So you could be in the middle of downtown Bogota, maybe not downtown Bogota, but just outside of the downtown area in Bogota, and you'll see a house and an apartment building, and then next to there is like this kind of like a vacant lot full of grass, and there's a cow in there. So it's weird. That like you be in the middle of the city and you'll see like a vacant lot and there'll be horses in there or cows in there or something like that. So it's just really odd. Not something that like in LA, it's not like you would go into like one of the let's say, I don't know, Hollywood. Let's say you're going to Hollywood, right? And there's some areas of Hollywood that's kind of green, right? There's houses and just houses, not a lot of industry or anything like that. And sometimes you have vacant lots there, but it would be highly unlikely you're going to see a cow or a horse in there, and here it's very likely that you will. So it's just a fact of life. We walk 2 miles into the town square every day, and then we're always passing horses and cows and stuff like that. A lot of dogs, and there's supposedly squirrels here, and I have not seen a single squirrel. There are rats here because I know this because I saw a dead one flattened in the middle of the road, but those are the only rats I've seen. So not a lot of like mammals and stuff. A lot of beautiful birds. There was wildlife here, but and then there's those pesky little things like the midges, which are smaller than mosquitoes, but they bite harder. And we do have mosquitoes here. Then there's scorpions, tarantulas, stuff like that. But don't mess with them. They won't mess with you. All right. So love goat cheese, but not the meat. I do understand that. It's like even lamb. People love lamb, but mutton, which is the older sheep, a lot of people don't like that. It has a very strong taste. So some people like it, some people don't. Now, Jules, I know you don't like the goat meat, but maybe you just haven't had it made properly. So like if you have a nice goat birria, I think you would really, really enjoy that. The United States, strangely enough, the United States is one of the few countries that really doesn't eat a lot of goat. But everywhere else in the world, they do eat a lot of goat. Probably because they're maybe easier to raise than sheep because they eat just about anything. You just put them in a field. Like a lot of people use them as kind of like urban lawnmowers, right? They'll take their herd of goats and they'll take this, you'll see like an overgrown vacant lot, overgrown with vegetation and everything. And then they just let their goats go in there. And then, an hour later or something, gone clean. So I want to try ostrich fingers. Ostrich fingers. They're like chicken fingers, but made with ostrich. That's a little tough. The thing about ostrich, Tom, is that ostrich is almost like a red meat. It's a much more redder meat. That's why a lot of people will eat ostrich as a substitute for beef. I think maybe just because it's a bigger animal. It's still a bird, but there's not as much white meat on an ostrich. A lot of red meat. What I want to try is ostrich wings, and I'm going to see if I can arrange that. I'm going to talk to my friend Anshu and see if I can arrange to get ostrich wings so that I can make buffalo wings or hot wings or something with ostrich wings. I think that would be interesting. Gator makes me itchy. That's interesting. I didn't know that like you could have like a allergy to gator. I didn't know that. Don't think the ostrich would like that very much, Tom. My friend has goats to mow her path. Exactly, Nashies. Exactly. They do that everywhere. You know, even in the States, they'll do it places where they'll just bring their goat. You know, somebody has like maybe you have an elderly couple that lived in this house for years, and they've just never gotten around to clearing out the yard and everything, and it's way overgrown and everything. And some people will just bring in their herd of goats, and their herd of goats will go to it. So, what about turkey fingers? Might work, yeah, because turkey breast is like a white meat breast. That would work. I think that would work. Some guy in the army shot a goat while he was on guard duty. He didn't know there were goats in the area to keep the weeds down. Well, I hope they ate it, But that's the thing about animals, right? It was like a lot of people say, like, "Oh my God, you kill an animal." Yeah, so like, yeah, but our species have been killing animals for survival for probably maybe 1.5 million years, and that's our, like, when I say our ancestors, those like before Homo sapiens, right? Like Cro-Magnon and stuff like that. They were hunters for probably, and they could tell this by their teeth, right? By their teeth, they were omnivores, right? They ate meat. They ate food. They might have scavenged for meat, like they might have eaten dead animals and stuff like that. But they did eat meat. But if you take like the Native Americans would kill a buffalo, and that buffalo would feed their family for I don't know, maybe a month, right? So they would eat all the meat. The fur would be used for warmth. The bone, they would use the bones. Every single piece of that animal, nothing went to waste. Absolutely nothing went to waste. And so that's just how we've been surviving as a species for millennia. Millennia. And I get the vegan thing about people having an issue with cruelty to animals. I don't like cruelty to animals. I don't think you should put an animal in a cage, raise them for food, where they're one on top of another and they can't move and all that fun stuff. But as far as just like eating the meat, I don't really have an issue. But I too have an issue with the way some animals are treated for that. But our species, that's what we've eaten. If you're vegan, I applaud you for that. I don't have that kind of dedication to be able to do that and everything, because I just eat everything. But I applaud you if you are able to be vegan and everything. But I don't criticize anybody who is not. So they recently discovered the Neanderthal diet consisted of a good amount of maggots, kept them from getting protein overload from meat. That's interesting. Because I think maggots have protein. I think maggots are protein, but I mean just protein overload from meat itself. That's really interesting. I've eaten maggots several times. One was because John King had suggested that we make, what was it, Salisbury steak sandwich with roasted maggots, and we did that. We did that, and the other one was when I made homemade kazu marzu for Matt. So had maggots several times. I don't go to the dumpster and pull out maggots out of the dumpster. That's very unsanitary and very unhealthy. But I do go to the pet store where they raise them for lizard food and stuff like that, and I get those, and those are safe to eat. So there we go. Yeah, different kind of protein. Just change it up, I suppose. Let's see how we're doing on time. 3:19. I guess we can go ahead and get started. So beef fingers. I wonder if they do something like beef fingers. Maybe it's just the way it's the preparation. So why not? The maggots are free. Well, again, so like for instance, I'll give you an example of why not, because they're free, right? So they're not free at the pet store. They're rather expensive at the pet store. So you get a little packet like that. I think it was like $10 or something like that for a little packet of maggots like that. So the reason you don't want to just go out and like crickets, right? I love crickets. I have an episode where I did a cricket stir fry, and that was really, really tasty. So you say, well, where do you get crickets? Well, in Portland, there was an Asian grocery. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was a huge Asian market. And it was mostly like Vietnamese food. And in the frozen section, they had crickets. They had frozen crickets, and that's what I used when I made the cricket stir fry. And the thing about it is that they're raised. There's not really a farm. You could do it in a house. You could raise crickets for food in a house, which is one of the benefits of insects as protein, is that in a very, very small amount of space, you can raise these insects for protein, very small amount of space. But the thing is like at one point in time, I had a pet emperor scorpion. The emperor scorpions are the big black ones that are about that big. And the reason they make good pets is because A, they're very docile, and B, if you somehow got them to sting you, it's a very mild toxin. It's would be like a bee sting, I mean, if you're allergic to it, bad news. But if you're not, it's just like a bee sting, right? And it's like I would let him walk on me and stuff, and never he never got aggressive. She never got aggressive, stung me or anything else like that. But I used to feed her crickets. And so I one time I went to the pet store and they didn't have any crickets, and I said, well, can I just catch them outside? And they go, no, you never want to do that, because the crickets that are outside, they might have parasites, and they also might have pesticides. They may have gotten into pesticides or something, and you feed it to that scorpion and the scorpion's going to die. So yeah, rule of thumb, if you want to try insects, if you ever get the urge to try insects, and I think you should, because I think the only insects I'm not really crazy about are the bondegi, the silkworm pupa. They're the only ones I'm not really crazy about. Every other insect I've had really, really liked, but never like just get them out of your house or get them out of the lawn, off the lawn, or out in your yard. Never do that. You want to do that, either go to a place like online. If you go to I think it's called, I want to say Thailand Unique. I think that's right. I think it's Thailand Unique. You can buy online. You can buy insects. Like I said, go to a pet store. Go to a pet store where they raise them, and you can eat them as well. So yeah, I am all for people who want to raise insects for food, because it's you could end starvation by raising insects for food. Let's see, what did I miss? Money for nothing and the maggots for free. It takes all the passel to make a batch of Granny's maggots too. I sense a Georgian Pudgy commercial there, Tom. Oh, thank you very much, Janice. So Janice posted the chicken fried rice episode, not the cricket fried rice episode. I said stir fry. It was actually fried rice. So my apologies. But Janice posted the episode. So when you have a chance, if you so desire, check that out. Cricket fried rice. All right. So, Doodle, we're going to have a beer. What do you think? No, you cannot have a beer. All right. So we're going to start with as we usually do, with our adult beverage. This is from Bruder, the Bruder Brewery, which I think is in Tunja. Tunja is maybe 2, maybe 3 hours outside of Bogota. It's a big city. It's a major city. I mean, they don't like skyscrapers and stuff like that, but it is a big city for Colombia. Tunja is a relatively large city. Bruder was founded in Tunja, Colombia by Julian and Hector Martinez in 2009. And if you look at there's a little saying there, and it says, inspirada en alemana, creada en Boyacá. So it's inspired in Germany, created in Boyacá. Boyacá is a department, and think of a department if you're from the US, right? Think of a department as a state. If you're from Canada, think of a department as a province, right? So Colombia is divided up by departments, right? And Tunja is in Boyacá department. Bogota is separate. It is, how do they say it? They say DC, but it is like Distrito Capital, the capital district. So it's kind of separate, but it's in, what is the department? that Bogota is like in the center of. I can't remember. It'll come to me. It's not very important right now. It's not important. All right. Yes, the damn legs, Jules. You're right. So Jules, here's a little thing, right? If you decide you're going to try crickets like those, what are the crickets that Hot Licks makes? And they make them like they add cheese flavoring and barbecue flavoring and stuff like that. Those are nice. But if the legs bother you, and the legs can get stuck in your teeth and stuff, and it's really annoying. But just pull the legs off. Pull the legs off before you eat them, and they're fine. Crickets, I think, to me, crickets have a taste like and this is just conjecture because I've not eaten that. But I imagine it tastes like a baby shrimp wrapped in a walnut leaf. That's kind of the taste that I get when I eat crickets. They're actually delicious. I really like them. All right, so going back to this. So this is from Bruder, and this is Saborizada Chocolate. So it's chocolate beer made with chocolate. This one's kind of surprising because this is 8.5 ABV. Val's going to drink this one slow. 8.5 ABV, much higher than normal, which is why you have that government warning, Board of Health warning that there's excess alcohol in there. Love getting learned about places from people that are in the place. The Colombian food adventure has been fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Nashies. I want to try to do something next week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but I want to try to pull it off. Is that that Trippy Food is a travel and food channel, and we do a lot of travel stuff, and we do a lot of food stuff. But I want to be able to do more travel stuff. And like you said, we're here, so I think I want to do something that's more focused on the travel aspect of it, or the aspect of Colombia as a travel destination. So I want to try to see if I can do something like that next week. But I'll work on it and see if I can get something like that. Val's gonna be busting out the hot sauce for pizza by the end of his. You know what? I don't need the hot sauce because I got this. Well, we're going to do this last. We're going to do this last, just like last time. All right. So again, it's Bruder, Cerveza Artesanal. I'm not sure how to say that. Chocolate beer made with chocolate. Sorry. So we're talking about chocolate. Here's our question. Our question is, who wrote the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? So for those of you who don't know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the book was what the film Willy Wonka was based on. All right, let's get this open. I don't need the bottle opener for this because they have this little ring pull on. Ooh, there we go. This little ring pull on here. It's kind of cool. Not a collectible bottle cap, that's for certain. Okay. Jules, you're going to rate this one? Oh, that's a nice color. Look at that color. Chocolatey brown color. Now, in Villa de Leyva, I don't know if they have it in other cities, but they do have it in Villa de Leyva. They have a place called El Museo de Chocolate, the Chocolate Museum. It's kind of a cool... I think I actually have footage of that, old footage of that. I'm just going to have to, start editing that stuff because it's probably like over a year old. And the Chocolate Museum, and it's kind of cool because they have this Willy Wonka looking guy outside, and you go in, and it's like a chocolate wonderland. All right. Thank you, Jules. 1 out of 10. Ooh, nice smell. Now that's a 8.6 ABV, I would expect. And it has a little bit more of a bite to it, and it really doesn't. It's not it's not sweeter like a stout or grainy, like I don't know, almost like that graham cracker sweetness that a stout usually has. The chocolate in here is very subtle. No, I say the chocolate is very subtle, and then at the end of that mouthful, I get this this kick of chocolate. Now, I'm not a big fan of chocolate, only because I grew up with what I like to call Easter Bunny chocolate. So you know those cheap Easter bunnies that people buy and stick in your Easter basket? That chocolate, that crappy chocolate that tastes like Hershey's chocolate, that pukey chocolate. That's what I grew up with, and so that's why I was never a big fan of chocolate. I have had some, some exceptional chocolate and some that was really nice. This does not have that pukey chocolate taste. This is it's not like a bittersweet chocolate. It's not like a dark chocolate, but it still has that, that cocoa chocolate taste. Yeah, that's really nice. That is going to get a thumbs up, and I am going to drink that slowly because it is, like I said, it's an 8.5 ABV. So that's kind of strong. Okay, so our question was, who wrote the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? The book that Willy Wonka was based on. And Jules said Dahl. Janet said Roald Dahl. Nashi says Roald Dahl. Everybody says Roald Dahl because it was Roald Dahl. Also, if you remember the Gene Wilder version of that, the Gene Wilder film, the original movie that they made, it was very, very different than the book. And I think the Johnny Depp one, they tried to make it more close to the book, but it was Johnny Depp and not, it would have been really nice if they'd made it like close to the book, but with Gene Wilder in it. I think that would have been like an awesome movie. But, the Gene Wilder movie is still good. I just love his like sarcasm and and comeuppance and everything. I think it was like it's one of my favorite movies actually. But Roald Dahl wrote the book in 1964. So I'll give you an 8.6 to match the APV. Oh, okay. Well, the next time I'm gonna do something with 14% ABV. Did you re-glue that thumb again? No, I only had to re-glue that. I only had to glue that once. You could see like the little cracks on it and everything. There, maybe if any of you are in tune with Japanese culture, I would mess it up. But I know that in the Japanese culture, so you have something like this, and it breaks. That rather than to replace it, what they do is they put it back together again, and then the cracks they like paint gold in the cracks, and it has more of a value. I don't know if it's like a dollar and cents value and everything, but it has more of a value, as a thing. Is that what it is? Kintsugi? Yeah, it has more value as something that there's a whole philosophy behind it. There's a whole philosophy behind it, and I wish I could adequately say what that is. But to me, that's just a really warm thing and something that I always think about it. And I would paint the cracks in here gold, but it's gold. So everything we own and our bodies would be completely gold. Let's honest. Yeah, that's true, especially at my age. All right. John would like us to guess what he's drinking. You don't want to go with what I went with last week. So I'm going to say you are drinking a Steel Reserve. John, that's my guess. My guess is you're drinking a Steel Reserve. So we'll see. The solid gold statue. All right, so let's get into the snacks. Oh, no, we're doing okay. I'm going to do that first. Sure, we'll do that first. So we're going to do this. We're not going to do this one. I have a smaller one. We're going to do the smaller one, and we're going to save this one to see if we can make something with it, because typically there's used for cooking as opposed to just eating. You can. So this is, let's see if I can say it right, the papayuelo, not Popeye like that, not that Popeye. It's a papayuelo. It's like a papaya. It's in the papaya family, papayuelo. And it is also known as the mountain papaya. This is the one that gets me in doing some research on this. It's also known as the mountain pawpaw. So I have been looking to try to get, because I think it's somewhere in like South Carolina or North Carolina or someplace like that, where they have this fruit called pawpaw. And I'm wondering if it's the exact same thing. You can buy the pulp online, but I think maybe it's this. So the other names for this, besides locally here in Colombia, it's papayuelo. It's also called the mountain papaya, mountain pawpaw, or chamburo. And it is native to the Andes of northwestern South America. We're in the Andes, but we're not necessarily in northwestern South America. We are in the Andes here. And it grows at an altitude of 4,900 to 9,800 feet above sea level. Now, 9,800, for reference, Bogota is at 9,000 feet above sea level. So we're talking about another 8,000 feet above that. So that's the range of where it grows in the mountains. And so we're just going to try this. Again, I think they say it's like there's a certain amount of sourness to it, which is why most people cook with it and not necessarily just eat it, but you can eat it just raw, which is what we're going to do. Now, like other papayas, there is a papain, P-A-P-A-I-N, a papain enzyme present in the immature fruit. What is that papain enzyme commonly used for? So the papain enzyme that's commonly found in the immature fruit, what is it commonly used for? Who's this Andy guy? You're always but Andy. Yeah. All right, here we go. Janice is correct on what? Janice said Coors Banquet. Oh, okay. I was going to go with Coors Banquet, but I thought you were drinking Coors Banquet last week. Not to say that you can't drink it 2 weeks in a row. So, sure. Whatever floats your boat, man. I don't judge. Let's see what this looks like. That's interesting looking. I can't say, I think it looked, it has that, do you guys, anyone of you who ever had fresh papaya, like you buy a papaya in the grocery store, you cut it open and you eat it, right? There's this smell. It's kind of like, it's like an armpity kind of smell from a papaya. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? That kind of armpity smell that you get from papaya? And that's present here. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to take the seeds out. Not that, it's probably not going to hurt. It doesn't hurt to eat watermelon seeds. I know, like as a kid, they told you if you ate watermelon seeds, watermelons would grow inside you. That doesn't happen. I don't think there's a single plant that if you ate its seeds, the plant would grow inside you. I will, however, say that there are some seeds that if you eat raw, cyanide gas will grow inside you. So that's not a good thing. I know, like almonds, you have to be careful with almonds, which is why they say, like, if you go in, especially, they used to use cyanide for gold mining, right? And I guess to separate the gold. I don't know what they used it for, right? But they say that if you ever go into like these old mining towns, these old ghost towns and everything where they had mines and stuff, that if you smell almonds, get out because that's cyanide gas that you smell. And, and who wants to mess with cyanide gas? Not I. There are a lot of seeds in here. You know what? Screw it. I could be here all week de-seeding this thing. All right, so this is what we want. We want the pulp. Here we go. That tastes like a cross between papaya and grapefruit. It's kind of a grapefruit taste there. Now, again, they say this is very sour. I'm not getting sourness from them. It's not like ultra sweet. I'm not getting really sourness to that. Probably tastes like vomit to me. I have heard people say that. I've heard people say that papaya tastes like vomit. I like papaya. To me and my dad, we have a gene. Oh, okay. Is that what it is? It's genetic predisposition to have that taste. I can see that. Again, it does have that smell. It does have that kind of funky body odor kind of smell to it. But I like the flavor. The thing is, like sometimes it's the smell that does it for you. Like with durian. With durian, sometimes it's just the smell, and you can't get past the smell. And if you can get past the smell of durian and actually taste it, it's like amazing. If you can get past the smell of the surströmming and you eat it the right way, it could be absolutely delicious. So, it is what it is. All right. So my question is, what is the papain enzyme present in the immature fruit commonly used for? And let's see. Janice says meat tenderizer. Jules says it makes your meat tender. It does look a little bit like it has maggots in it, John, from that view. Expect to smell mangoey. Okay, I guess those are the only guesses. The only guess is like as a meat tenderizer or tenderized meat, and you are absolutely correct. That is what it is used for. I want to say there's some enzyme in pineapple that they use for that as well, but I know definitely in papaya or anything in the papaya family that they definitely have that. Let's see, make sure I don't want to miss anything here. I found a big jar of Val points yesterday. Too bad I can't get for cool stuff. I told you to get the canoe, Tom. When you had a chance, you should have got the canoe. Save mine up for the. Oh, let's see. Julie says she was saving hers up for the canoe. She didn't have enough for the canoe. You had enough for the canoe, Tom. You should have got the canoe. Oh, you got one before, but it had a hole in it. The store closed. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's why we don't do business with them anymore. Bromelian in pineapple. But it is also an enzyme in pineapple that they use for tenderizer. Is that correct, Nashis? Nashi is a veritable vault of information. Where would I be without Nashis and Janice? All right, let's get into our next snack. These look interesting. Nope. Yes. All right. So I'm not sure if I pronounce this correct. These are from Deli Sinu. Sinu, yeah. There's an accent over the U. Deli Sinu. These are yuca rings with wheat bran. So the rosquitas are rings, or little rings with yuca integrales, so yuca flour. So these are yuca rings. And then I think down below it says with wheat bran, but it is actually wheat bran. So Deli Sinu was founded in Barranquilla, Colombia by Laura Gonzalez. I don't know when. So as long as we're talking about that wheat bran, what is the most popular wheat bran cereal in the United States? Again, what is the most popular wheat bran cereal in the United States? Just take a guess, you'll probably get it right. Has anyone told you you don't look a thing like Jay Leno? Yes. And they told me that immediately after I posted that picture of me standing next to Jay Leno, who I look nothing like. And then Jay Leno said I didn't look like Jay Leno. So and so you guys have seen Jay Leno did not have the glasses on. And when I met Jay Leno, he had the same glasses on as me. I'm like, great, thanks, buddy. All right. So again, these are there's a lot of different things that they sell as rosquitas, which are the little rings, but they're made out of like the wheat or all kinds of different things. Rosquitas are very popular. We have another product today that we're gonna do that have or that ring shape. You look way better than Leno. Well, I think he's like 10 years older than me. So maybe I'll look like him maybe I'll look like him now in 10 years. But he rolls down hills and has cars like blow up. Are you okay, dude? You okay? No, I don't think you can have this. Let's see. What is in here? Yuca flour, queso costeño, which is some kind of cheese. Let's see, trigo, salvado de trigo. I don't know what some of these are, dude, so I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to give this to you. It's funny because water is one of the ingredients, but it's the last ingredient. That's really unusual because usually things with water as an ingredient, they look like dog cookies. I don't blame. I don't know how he knew these were going to look like dog cookies, but they do. They look like dog cookies. They taste like his dog cookies. Not as savory because his dog cookie has like beef broth in it. So it's not as savory as his dog cookie. but they don't taste that much different than that. Here, you want a dog cookie? Wow. Those are really interesting. They taste, I mean, they're kind of dry, but they do break apart. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, honestly, and this is going to sound weird, the closest thing that I've ever had that tastes like this are his dog cookies. Tastes like a dog cookie. Maybe it is. Maybe Claudia picked this up and she got it in a store that sells dog treats. Contains egg and dairy. I don't know. 100% natural. Maybe I could give it to him. Doesn't have onion or garlic or anything in it. I'm gonna give him a little piece. I'm not gonna experiment with foods that he hasn't had before. I don't feel like cleaning up the floor. I mean, it's tile. You can see tile floor, but still, I don't feel like cleaning that up. Those are really interesting. So I can say they definitely have like a taste of grain. They're a little bit on the dry side, but not too dry. Really interesting. Not something like if somebody just put a bowl in them, I would just like finish that whole bowl of them, but they're really interesting. I'm going to give them a thumbs up for that. I'm going to give them a thumbs up because it really doesn't taste like anything I've ever had before, except the dog cookies. But very good. Like and you guys might think I'm crazy because like whenever I have some new, thing I'm going to give Doodle, I always taste it myself. Not dog food in a can. I'm not going to eat that, but anything like any of these dog snacks, especially if I look at the ingredients and it's just what it said, like chicken or just beef or something, I'm going to try them first. But it's so funny how those taste like his dog cookies. That's just really weird. So thumbs up. Our question was, what is the most popular wheat bran cereal in the U.S.? Let's see. Nashi said shredded wheat. Jules said Wheaties. Tom said shredded wheat. Miguel Rangel said Cheerios. Wow, all over the place. Janice Yamanaka said Kellogg's All Bran Original Cereal. And she is absolutely correct. It is Kellogg's All Bran Original Cereal is the most popular wheat bran cereal in the United States. And I know what you're saying to yourself. I don't know anybody who eats that. But apparently, when people go for a wheat bran cereal, that's the one they go for. Now, here's an outside question. How many of you guys have ever had wheat germ? Who here has had wheat germ? When we were kids growing up, my mom used to buy, I think it's Kretschmer, I think if I'm not mistaken, is the brand name. Kretschmer, it came in a jar and it was called wheat germ. And I think it was like the wheat before it was like crushed into a powder. So like the wheat berries or whatever. I think that's what those are. But wheat germ was something we would put that on top of a cereal. So we would take we do the sugar with the milk and sugar because I did milk and sugar back then. Do the cereal with the milk and sugar, and then we would put the wheat germ on top of that. And then sometimes we just eat a spoon of the wheat germ because we just kind of like that. But how many people out there have actually had wheat germ? Anybody? It's cyanogenic glycoside. What is? Oh, dogs can't eat yuca. Well, this isn't yuca though, Jules. And people shouldn't eat yuca raw. Jules, people shouldn't eat yuca raw. They make muffins with all bran muffins. Have you made all bran muffins, Tom? I don't remember if I've ever eaten all bran. But grape nuts, which are not grape or nuts. I had grape nuts. I don't know, maybe I'm not sure what grape nuts are made out of. But anybody out there have you had wheat germ? Anybody? Wheat germ? Nobody? Wheat germ? Wheat germ going once? Wheat germ going twice? Yeah, we used to get it. I think they still sell it in the jars, but Nashi's has. Okay. Yeah. Do you like it? Do you like the wheat germ, Nashi's? Never had it, not once, never. Well, Jules, we're gonna fix that. Remember that you have not had wheat germ, and we're going to fix that. I was vaccinated against wheat germ as a kid. Yeah, you got to be careful of that. Okay, time for our next snack, and just so that you know, our grab bag of choice is Trader Joe's, and this is the Trader Joe's Massachusetts bag. As you can see, anybody from Massachusetts recognizes this sign. Anytime you go into a city in Massachusetts, there's this sign, right? There's something I always found weird about this side of the bag, right? So this is the Zakim Bridge. This is Zakim Bridge. And if the top of it looks familiar, like this is the top of it here. This is Bunker Hill Monument. They made the top of the Zakim Bridge look like Bunker Hill Monument, which is technically in Charlestown and not Boston, but you can walk over there. This is South Station, which is on the T. These are the trains. South Station would be orange and I want to say orange and red line. Green line trains, blue line trains would not go through South Station, but that's South Station. That is the Custom House in Boston. And we have an episode coming up at the Custom House in Boston. This is the Prudential Building. And it's funny that this is the case. This is the Prudential Building in Boston. Well, it used to be called the Prudential Building. I'm not sure what it's called now. But this is the Prudential Building. This is the Customs House. Customs House for years was the tallest building in Boston. And then the Prudential Building became the tallest building in Boston. And now the John Hancock Building is taller. But these two buildings have observatories in there. We went to both. And the episode that's coming out will have both of those observatories. Now, this is the old State House. The new State House was built in 1792. The new State House, built in 1792, which lets you know how old the old State House is. So you have all these buildings in Boston, all these structures in Boston, and you get this whisk. Like, what is this whisk doing here? I want to know what this whisk is doing here. It's just bizarre. All right, anyways. Ooh, this is going to be fun, I think. I think it's going to be really sweet. So what does this look like to you guys? Like, just off the bat, if you've never seen this before, what does this look like to you guys? What do you think this looks like? Jules, I know you're going to be able to take a guess at what you think this looks like. It's not what it is, but it just kind of looks like that, right? Lobster, right whale. Jay, it's a baby wheel or something. It's not accurate. None of the trains are on fire. That's true. Well, was it the Orange Line train that caught fire, I think? I was thinking of something else, Jules, something that you can get on the coast, or something that's big on the coast. Yeah, it does look like candy, Janice, but what kind? No, I wouldn't say Brock's candy. A Christmas cracker? Yeah, the thing that you pull like that? Yeah, taffy. I think it does look like saltwater taffy. It looks like a gigantic piece of saltwater taffy. It is not a piece of saltwater taffy. So this is called Besitos de Novia. And so the company that makes this is a little place called Bocados Tradicionales. They don't have a website. So like usually in the notes where I usually put like the websites and the Instagram feed and everything, they don't have either. It's just a little doorway essentially. And these are called Besitos de Novia. And Besitos de Novia loosely translates to either bridal kisses or girlfriend kisses. Girlfriend kisses. And these are a small meringue-covered sponge cake created during the Spanish era in Villaleva, Colombia. So they're made with a dough consisting of egg yolk, flour, cornstarch, baking powder, and sugar, and they're covered with a light meringue. They want to keep it light to keep it low in sugar, but based on the other ingredients, I don't see how they do that. They're typically packaged in pastel-colored paper. So you go to a place that sells these, and you see them in the case. They're like fluorescent pink and fluorescent blue, like all these fluorescent colors. And we just happen to get a yellow one. They're all the same thing inside. They're not different. But according to legend, Hiton Ferro fell in love with a young woman from Villaleva. She refused to kiss him until he declared himself her boyfriend, thus the name of the confection. So that's where the name comes from. Besitos de Novia, little girlfriend kisses is what they call it. We're going to find out if it lives up to that title. So again, it's covered with a thin layer of meringue, or merengue, as they say down here. From what ingredients is merengue made? There's two main ingredients in merengue. Sometimes there's additional things added to it, but there are two main ingredients in merengue. Nashies, I know you know this. From what ingredients is merengue made? Besitos novio. Yes, Jules. No, new kisses would be nuevo. Besitos nuevo. It is novia. Besitos novia. Yeah. It looks like a huge fruity Tootsie Roll. Yeah, I don't know what it looks like inside. I can't wait till we open this up and find out. It's warm in here today. That's weird. Usually it's a balmy 70 degrees every single day. Oh, okay. Wow. That's interesting. I would not have predicted that. That's like solid. This, I think, I have this feeling that if I bite into this, it's going to go everywhere. But I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Now, here's the thing. If you just made sponge cake and then you immediately covered it with meringue, I would think that sponge cake would still be kind of moist inside, but it's not. This one's really kind of dry. And I'm not sure why, because it's in a sealed environment, right? It's like, it might be that they do this because the meringue preserves the cake, so you can probably keep this thing for a year and still eat it. So I'm going to say this. It's an interesting combination. Now the meringue is really sweet and sugary to the point where it kind of overpowers the cake inside. The cake inside is a little bit dry. I would think, like I said, I would think that encasing it would preserve the moistness, and it kind of doesn't. But it tastes good. It's nice. It has a nice flavor. I'm going to give it a... it's different. It's interesting. Never had that before. I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle, trending upward. Right, thumbs in the middle, just because, like I said, it's the cake itself is a little bit dry, and it's very, very sweet. And I'm not a big fan of sweets. If you love, if you just eat sugar out of a bowl, maybe you'll love that, right? But it is interesting and different, and so that's why it's not going to stay a thumbs up. A thumbs in the middle. It's going to be thumbs in the middle, trending upward. All right. So the question was, from what ingredients is meringue made? Let's see. Jules said egg white and sugar. Icehan said egg white and sugar. Janice said egg whites and sugar. Nashi said egg sugar. egg whites and sugar. Everybody said egg whites and sugar, and that's because it is made from egg whites and sugar. So you guys are all correct. Chalk. So he was calling his girlfriend kisses dry as heck. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but that's legend. So there you go. Hey, Joshua Maxwell is here. Joshua, correct me if I'm wrong, Joshua. Today is your birthday, correct, Joshua? I think today is your birthday. Yes, Joshua? Today? Birthday? You? Joshua? Yes, today is his birthday. So, everybody, join with me as we sing happy birthday to Joshua. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joshua. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Joshua. Cadillac for you. All right. Happy birthday. Everybody get into the spirit. Wishing him a happy birthday. And welcome. Chocolatey. All right. What's next on our hit parade? Oh, this one. Okay. Remember I told you that Roscas would be rearing their head once again? So we have another Rosca. And this one is the product line. I guess the product is called Jumbo. And this is Jumbo Rosca. It's Jumbo Rosca. The name doesn't really tell you what it is. I guess you guys can kind of figure that out. It is from Grupo Nutresa, and Grupo Nutresa was formerly Grupo Nacional de Chocolates. It was founded in Medellin, Colombia in 1920, but the name was changed to Grupo Nutresa in 2011. So again, this is a ring, as close as I can figure. Let's see. Rosquilla horneada crocante con caramelo. So that is a horneada is baked. Crocante is crunchy. Baked crunchy ring with caramel. arroz crujiente, so brown rice, I guess. Maní, which is peanuts. Recubierta con cobertura sabor a chocolate con leche, milk chocolate. All right. Although, it sounds like all kinds of good stuff in there, but it's exceso de azúcares, excess sugar, and exceso de grasas saturadas, excess saturated fats. All right, so again, another ring, another rosca. So one of the other famous roscas is Rosca de Reyes. Rosca de Reyes is a baked treat that people eat around Epiphany. Epiphany being, I think, January 6th. It's a Christmas type holiday or something associated with Christmas. So the question is, what object is hidden inside a Rosca de Reyes? What object is hidden inside a Rosca de Reyes? Rosca de Fuego. That would be interesting. I went down in a Rosca de Fuego. I went down, 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 and the flames mas alto. And it burns, burns, burns. Where Jumbo comes from, big African bull elephant that PT Van. Yes, Ice Hand, and I believe Jumbo stood stuffed after he died, stood stuffed in Tufts University in Medford, Massachusetts for years. And then there was a fire and his stuffed body was burnt. And so if you go to Tufts now, they have his ashes in a jar, the ashes of Jumbo the elephant. Some of you can check me on that, but I think that was Jumbo the elephant that was on display at Tufts University for years and years. The stuffed elephant. I think the beer has brought out singing Val. Well, we can't sing too much because copyrights and all that other stuff. But my brother has the same birthday as Elvis. I was born on the anniversary of his death, and he died August something. So I guess this month, August in 1977. I don't remember the exact day, and it was August in 1977 he died. Yeah, because everything reminds me of a song, Jules. All right. There's my kryptonite right there. Caramel, my kryptonite. August 16th. Oh, okay. 1980. Oh, Jules is in 1982. August 16th. So did we miss your birthday, Nashies? Did we appropriately mark your birthday? I don't think it was probably not on a day when we did a live stream. Let's see, the 16th, that was a Saturday. We would have had a live stream on Sunday, or maybe that was the week we didn't do a live stream. Last Saturday, we did do a live stream last Saturday. How neglectful of us. And I think we should sing happy birthday to Nashies because we did not do that last week. So let's do that today, right now. We're going to sing happy birthday to Nashies. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nashies. Happy birthday to you. Cadillac for you. All right, there we go. Happy belated birthday. Let's try this. Texture is that? Look at that. Oh, kind of weird. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that. It's almost like a Rice Krispie bar. And I think it is rice, brown rice. It's chewy. I think that's the caramel. Chocolate's okay. Not delicious chocolate, not pukey chocolate. It's okay. It is crunchy, but it's also chewy. So it tastes like a Rice Krispie treat that's not as sweet because it doesn't have that. I think Nashies, you can help me out here. I'm sure you know this. What is it that makes a Rice Krispie treat stick together? I think it's corn syrup, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it doesn't have that sweet. It's our half birthday. You're right, Jules. No, it's not because I think our half birthday is in July. if I'm not mistaken, Jules. Our half birthday is in July, and we'd have to narrow that. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 9.5. So like the evening of the 9th of July, I think would be our half birthday. Marshmallows and Rice Krispies. Yeah, but what is the stuff that holds it together? I think it's corn syrup, if I'm not mistaken. Nashies? I know you've made Rice Krispie treats before. You have to have made Rice Krispie treats before. So that kind of sweet and sticky kind of thing, I'm not really a big fan of. The chocolate's okay. It's not great and it's not horrible. The caramel, I'll deal with it. I might give it a thumbs in the middle. I like the crunchiness of it, but it's just like sticky and sticks in your teeth and stuff like that. I'm not really crazy about stuff. I think it's going to get a thumbs in the middle from me. Marshmallow and butter. That's it? Just marshmallow and butter is the only thing that holds that together? They don't put corn syrup in that? Okay, don't know. All right, our question was, what object is hidden inside a Rosca de Reyes? And let's see, did people answer that? They did answer that. Jules said a baby. Janice said a plastic baby Jesus. Nashi said a little baby. Miguel Rangel said a tiny kid. Yeah, you're all right. Of course, it is a baby. It is a tiny plastic baby, and it is supposed to be the baby Jesus. And there's differing things on what you're supposed to do if you get that piece. Sort of like a king cake. If you've ever had a king cake, they have it on at Mardi Gras, like Fat Tuesday, just before Lent starts. That's when they have a king cake. The Rosca de Reyes you have during Epiphany, which is in January, sort of during the Christmas season. And I think in the case of the king cake, if you get the baby Jesus in the king cake, you're supposed to buy the next king cake, right? If you get the Rosca, if you get the baby Jesus in the Rosca de Reyes, you're supposed to, by some accounts, you're supposed to host a party, and by other accounts, you're supposed to buy everyone tamales. I don't know how it works, but maybe one of you do. And maybe one of you had an epiphany once, or like the Dickens. You had to take aspirin. All righty. Let's see what else we got. Oh, is that 4 already? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4. Okay. So we are ready for our non-adult beverage. And I really can't call this a soft drink. We suddenly had a huge thunderstorm roll in. My internet may cut out. Well, we will catch you on the flip side if that happens, and stay safe. All right. So we are going to do this. He says this, and you can't see what he's picking up because it's in the grab bag. We are going to do this, and this is Nestlé's Milo, or Nestlé Milo. What is it? They're exceso de what? Azúcares, excess sugar. Milo was originally developed. You're going to love this. You are going to love this. So this is like a big Latin American favorite, Milo. Milo was originally developed for Nestle in Australia by Thomas Maine in 1934. So this is really an Australian thing, but it's huge in Latin America. And they always have some sports figure on the outside. Now, it is kind of like a cocoa. You can make this hot, or you can make this. Where's my finger? There. You can make this hot, or you can make this cold. We're gonna do the cold one. Right? I showed you the lactose-free milk at the beginning of it, so we're going to use that. And the preparation is simple: 7 ounces of skim milk, which we have, and 2 tablespoons of Milo. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make that. Oh, it also has malt in it. So it's malt, milk. There's dry milk in it, malt, milk, and cocoa in here. So just not really a chocolate milk, not really a hot chocolate. It's anybody's guess as to what it is, but it's Milo, right? So our trivia question. This is called Milo. Where did Nestle come up with the name for Milo? Where did Nestle come up with the name for Milo? Hey, Grub Warp is here. Welcome, Grub Warp. Have not seen you in a while. Good to see you again. Glad you could join us. Let's see. Jules had a storm that knocked out power. We had a couple weeks ago, we had a power outage as well. Let's see. Hurricane Erin ruined my beach. Hurricane Erin ruins everyone's day. She's way out in the Atlantic. The waters were closed. You can get to the water, but sometimes it's nice just watching the waves roll in and watching the tide roll away. Whatever. I bet that's like Carnation Instant Breakfast. Maybe. I bet Carnation Instant Breakfast had a lot of other stuff in it. Let's shake that up a little bit. So I have my 7 ounces of milk, of our skim lactose-free milk, which is a blessing for me. Especially because, can you imagine if I drank 7 ounces of regular milk and then ended the episode with this? Not good. Smells like milk. All right. 2 tablespoons. Claudia said when she was a kid that they would just eat this. They would just like eat it. Well, let's do that. Let's see what she was talking about. There we go. It's crunchy. All right. 2 tablespoons. They don't say whether it's rounded or, you know what's perfect? The perfect is I'm making it like a chocolate milk, and I'm going to eat that pepper at the end. That's going to come in handy. There's 1. I think that's all that's in here. I think it's just like enough for 1 cup or 1 serving. It seems to be. All right. Hi, dude. Well, I hope I don't have to use that for something else. And it says to shake it. It's going to be fun. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. I was watching idiot parents let their Chinese children run in and out of the ways while one guy. Yeah, some people are just dumb. Dude, yeah. Dude, you want to come up? You want to come up here? Come on. You do that dance, I can't pick you up. There we go. Another piece of freeze-dried chicken. How's that? All right. Ooh, that smells weird. Doodle, the Prince of Dog. For those of you who came in late. Doodle, the Prince of Dogness. All right. Jules, you know where I predicted this was going to go, right? Which is technically everywhere. I did think this was probably going to go everywhere. But this is what they tell you to do. They tell you to shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right. Singing again. Ceiling, walls, pants. Yeah. Doodle. All over doodle. All right. I think I have a glass here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So let's do this. Let's pour this in the glass so you can see what that looks like. It doesn't smell like it. You know what it smells like? You guys are going to laugh. It smells like malted milk balls. You guys ever had malted milk balls? There's a salve for that. There's an ointment that they can. No. Did you ever have, seriously, you ever have malted milk balls? Yeah, that's what it tastes like, too. Are Whoppers malted milk balls, Jules? I didn't know if that was the same thing or not. That's what it tastes like, malted milk balls. Go figure. That's really interesting. Now, I have a bold prediction. So you guys know that whenever we do the beverages, we always mix them together, right? So I have our cerveza chocolate, our chocolate beer, and we have like a malted chocolate milk. I have a feeling this is going to be okay. Let's see. It's almost like Yoo-hoo now. That's really interesting. It's not something I would want to drink all the time, but it is really interesting and it really has a nice flavor to it. Buy more Ovaltine, Jules. Yes, Whoppers are good. Yeah, but I didn't know if Whoppers are the same thing as malted milk balls. Are Whoppers malted milk balls? It's actually pretty good. One of the better combinations, and that's why that's going to get a thumbs up. Okay, the question was that where did Nestle come up with the name for Milo? Whoppers are malted milk balls. Okay, cool. Where did Nestle come up with the name for Milo? And let's see, were there any guesses? There were some guesses here. Janice said it is named after an ancient Greek athlete. It looks like Janice might be the only one. Ooh, the only one that guessed at that. The name was derived from the famous Greek athlete Milo of Croton. So yes, Janice, you are correct. All right, so now we're into our last. Let's see, what are we doing for time? It's 4 o'clock. It's 4:15. And we have 4 more snacks left. I think we're going to do okay. I think we're going to do just fine. Doodle, there are hot peppers there. There are hot peppers there. And you might think that that looks tasty and you might want to sink your teeth into that, but you would be very, very sadly mistaken. Do you remember the time, Doodle, that I was working with Tom and we were doing the fiery burger ring where we had it was like an onion ring, but it had the burger inside the onion? Do you remember when we did that? And do you remember that I cut a piece of cheese? Doodle, I'm talking to you. Do you remember that I cut a piece of cheese that was scorpion pepper cheese? Do you remember that? I had that just the right size to go inside that ring and I had it on the table. And do you remember you jumped up on the bench and you grabbed a piece of that cheese and ran off and started eating it? And do you remember you were licking your face for the next 15 minutes after that? Do you remember that? So that's why I can't let you eat anything off here because you'll eat one of those peppers and both of us will regret it. All righty. What is next? We did Milo of Croton. All right, these are going to be interesting because I have a feeling that these are going to be something very, very familiar, but there's really not a lot of specification. So these are from Frito-Lay, and these are cheese trees Bolsaza. Frito-Lay cheese trees Bolsaza. I have no idea what they are. There's nothing that tells you what they are. We do know that they have excess sodium and they have excess saturated fat. We do know that. And we do know that, I don't know what this guy is doing. I think he must be rapping. He doesn't look like he's surfing because there's no surfboard there. There's no microphone. So I don't know what he's doing, but he has a giant one of these. He must be very, very tiny person because I don't think these are actual size. Let's see. Extruidos de maíz con sabor a queso, sabor artificial a queso. So to me, I'm loosely translating that to extruded corn with cheese flavor. Let's see. Porciones por empaque 8 portions in this bag. I have a feeling that it might just stay at 7 portions. Okay, so again, these are from Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay began in the 1930s as 2 separate companies, the Frito Company and the H.W. Company. They both merged together in 1961 to form Frito-Lay. But then Frito-Lay merged with the Pepsi-Cola Company in 1965 to create PepsiCo. So let's go back to the Frito Company, the Fritos. What snack was invented by Frito's creator, and not Fritos? What snack was invented by Frito's creator, Charles Elmer Doolin, in 1948? What snack was invented by Frito's creator, Charles Elmer Doolin, in 1948? Exactly, Jules. Why should he be any different? Doodle, I can't give you this. I don't even know what's in here. I mean, I could read the ingredients and then I have to translate half of those, and he probably smells the cheese. All right, guys, I'm going to show this to you before I dig into this, and I want you to tell me what you're seeing in that bag. What do you see in that bag? Elmer elbows. Yeah, made from elbow macaroni, fried elbow macaroni. What do you? Oh no, that. What do you see in that bag? Besides the color orange, what does that look like to you? Yeah, exactly. That's what they are. Essentially what they are. They're not as crunchy as the baked ones. They're not as puffy as the OG ones. That's what they are. Now, they taste exactly like them. There's nothing that indicates that they taste any different. This is from Frito-Lay, so I don't know why they don't just do it as Cheetos, right? I don't know what differentiates these from Cheetos. Maybe the fact that it's like an artificial cheese flavor, not an actual cheese flavor. Maybe that's what differentiates it. But to me, they taste like Cheetos, and the texture is between the baked one and the OG puffed ones. I'm gonna have to give those a. I'm gonna give those a. I'm torn, right? I want to give them a thumbs in the middle because they taste like Cheetos, right? But at the same time, they're not pretending to be anything else, and they hit the mark on tasting like Cheetos. So there's no cat on the outside of it and everything. So I kind of want to give them a thumbs up for that. So let's do this. Let's meet in the middle and give them a thumbs up, a thumbs in the middle, trending upward. We'll do that. All right. Quad chips. Oh, Tom, we're back to the quad. All right. All right. So our question was, what snack was invented by Fritos creator Charles Elmer Doolin in 1948? Either nobody guessed or people were talking about that. It was in fact Cheetos. Cheetos were invented by Charles Elmer Doolin in 1948, the creator of Fritos. All right. So yeah, nothing exciting there, but it is what it is. They taste like Cheetos and nothing else, but they don't say they taste like anything else. So that's okay. And that's okay. How's everybody doing? Everybody? All right. The next two snacks are both from Super Ricas. So let's do these first. Nope, these. Okay. So these are from Super Ricas. Super Ricas. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Ricas. These are Super Crokantes, which I think is crunchies. I think Crokantes is crunchies. These are papas fritas con cascara, sabor costillitas barbecue. So they're potato chips. They're barbecue baby ribs, flavored chips, potato chips. I don't think there's any meat in here. Let's see, ingredients, potato. They put them in English. That's weird. Ingredients, potato, vegetable oils, artificial rib barbecue flavor. Not barbecue rib barbecue. Artificial barbecue rib flavor. All right. Super Ricas was founded by Carlos Eduardo Silva in Bogota, Colombia in 1961. So we'll have, let's see, do you have one question or two questions? We have one question. And we'll wait to the second one. We'll ask this question because both the questions pertain to Super Ricas. All right. Crokantes? No, crokantes. Crokantes. It could be well, you're missing the N there. Where? There. You're missing the N, so it can't be crokantes. Yes, Joshua. Artificial. Not like a nice barbecue sauce flavor. Oh, it's nice. They leave the skins on. That's nice. I always love the potatoes with skins on them. And they're not crunchy. Sour cream and onion, Walter Cronkite's. They're very savory. Good amount of salt. You know, like you can see through these. They're very thin. You can see right through them. Can you see? Can you see my face? Maybe not. Three-second rule, but you got to pick stuff off. Now, some chips, they have like a barbecue flavored chips, so they don't pretend to be any particular kind of meat. These are supposed to be like barbecue ribs, supposed to have a barbecue rib flavor, but honestly, it doesn't really have that a barbecue like sauce flavor. A little bit lacking in that. They're nice chips. They're not greasy. They're thin. They're crispy, crunchy. Love the texture of these, and I like the fact that they leave the skins on them. That's really nice as well. But the barbecue is really subtle. The ribs non-existent. I'm gonna give them thumbs. I'm gonna give them thumbs in the middle. The thing that saves them is they're actually good chips. They're tasty, not too salty, not greasy, crunchy, everything. So it's a good chip. Is it a barbecue rib chip? No, it's not. Okay. Would rather have the Dandy Dan Rathers, Julie. Blow off any tarantula hairs. We've only had the little tarantulas in the house, so we'd have to blow off a whole tarantula, I think, if it went on the floor. You don't want to get them mad where they're kicking their furs on you. Doodle, can I finish my live stream? Doodle, I care for you very much. I really do. You're my best buddy. You are my best buddy. You spend all day with me and everything. But would really like to get to my live stream. That'd be okay? Huh? You join me right here? You can sit right there. You can sit right there. That'd be fine. I don't mind. All right. So we're going to do our second Super Ricas. And again, Super Ricas was founded by Carlos Eduardo Silva in Bogota, Colombia in 1961. All right. So these are, and I'm going to assume these are artificially flavored as well. And these are Super Ricas Tocinetas, sabor original flavor tocinetas. Tocinetas are like little pieces of bacon. Piece of tocino, I think is the name for bacon in Colombia. Oh, by the way, if I neglected to say this, any product, unless I specify otherwise, are product of Colombia. All right. So these are tocinetas. It's supposed to be bacon, but I think it's artificial flavor. Let's see. Ooh, nice. They put it in English too. Wheat flour. Let's see. Artificial bacon flavor. Artificial colors. Natural color. Carmine red. All right. Let's see who's been paying attention to our live streams. So the red color is artificial. They say artificial color. Or I'm sorry, natural color, and they say it's carmine red. So where does carmine red food coloring come from? Where does the carmine red food coloring come from? That's not the trivia question, but that's a question to see if you guys have been paying attention, because we did mention it before multiple times. Artificial bacon flavor, you already said that. That's okay. So it has artificial bacon flavor twice, and vegetable oil, gluten, and ingredients. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to try these. Now, so this is our trivia question. Our trivia question is we did something from Frito-Lay. That has nothing to do with this. All right. Super Ricas is the third largest savory snack company in Colombia. Third largest savory snack company. Name one of the first two. Name one of the first two savory snack companies in Colombia. Super Ricas being the third. Yes, Nashi, you are absolutely correct. Janice is very specifically correct. Carmine coloring comes from cochineal insects. So if you remember, you find these a lot on cactus. Like if you live in the southwest, you see this. It looks like a white foamy thing on cactus, and if you push your finger on it, it turns red. That's the cochineal insect. And to get that carmine coloring, they get it from that cochineal insect. So a lot of people who are vegan will drink like I don't know, like ruby red grapefruit juice, and then go like I'm drinking that because that's vegan. That's just grapefruit in it. Yeah, but it has carmine coloring in it, which is an insect, which technically you're not drinking. It's not vegan, but we get it in our prickly pear. Exactly. Yeah, and again, it's like a white foamy thing, and you just push your finger down on it, and you're crushing the bugs, and it turns red. So the Native Americans used to use it as a dye. I guess they still do. The Colombians are using it for a dye. It gets in a lot of foods. So, this is made to look like a piece of bacon. It's the texture of chicharrones, like the puffy ones, not the ones with the skin attached to it. Yeah, it's the texture of chicharrones. But there's no meat in here. Artificial bacon flavor. They should have called them chicharrones because it's. First of all, if there's an artificial bacon flavor in here, I'm not tasting it. I'm not tasting anything that even reminds me of bacon. These taste like chicharrones, but they taste like very light chicharrones. Like I'm not getting the pork flavor that's in chicharrones. I'm not getting that flavor here at all. All right, now, it does say, you have to read, but it does say artificial bacon flavor. So that's fun. So I can't hold it against them if it doesn't taste like bacon because it's an artificial flavor. They're light and crunchy. I just think that they should have gone with an artificial chicharron, because they're more like chicharron, I think, than bacon. Nothing about it reminds me of bacon whatsoever. So to call them tocinetas, just a little bit weird. I'm going to give them a thumbs in the middle. They're light, they're airy, they're nice, they're okay. But if you're going to waste your exceso sodio and your exceso grasa saturadas, they're okay. All right. So the question was super ricas. I should say it like that every time. So the question is, Super Ricas is the third largest savory snack company in Colombia. Name one of the first two. So I think maybe Tom said South Park. Oh, Janice said Grupo Nutresa. No. So that looks like the only guesses. The largest savory snack company in Colombia is Frito-Lay. The second largest savory snack company in Colombia is Yupi. We did some Yupi snacks, I think, last week. I don't know if we did two or we just did one. I think last week we did a Yupi snack. So they're the second largest savory snack company in Colombia. Super Ricas is the third. All right. Is that it? No, that's not it. But it's time. I waited to the end specifically for that. I am going to get this ready. This is my pseudo chocolate milk. I'm going to shake that back up again. Yeah, Claudia said the same thing, Jules. Claudia said the exact same thing in those exact words. That is totally predictable. Did get it on the pants. Did get it on Doodle. Totally predictable. All right. Yeah, good times. Jules, you knew that was going to happen. I mean, like, there's no surprise there. You knew that was going to happen. Exactly, Ice Hand. Exactly. All right. I'm just going to drink it right out of here. And I'm not going to put it in a glass or anything. All right, there we go. Shook that up a little bit. I'm still getting chocolate stuff all over the place. All right, here we go. So this is an ají rojo. So the last time I did one of these peppers, it was the ají amarillo. And the ají rojo is from Peru. And it averages between 30,000 and 70,000 Scoville heat units, which is comparable to a mild habanero. I don't remember what the ají amarillo, the yellow one. I don't remember what that was comparable to. I will tell you that we did use some. We still had some of the ají amarillo, and we used it in when we made the stuffed vegetables yesterday. We used some of that, and it was just I think we used a whole one, cut it up, but we had ground beef and rice and some other stuff in there and everything, and it was just enough to give it a nice spicy kick. And that's typically what you'll see. These very, very few hot sauces in Colombia, so you don't see a lot of hot sauces here. But mostly these are used for ají, which is kind of like a condiment. So you just say ají. You go into a restaurant, it's sort of like chimichurri. It's almost like a chimichurri. Ají is made with onion. I think they might put garlic in it. They use the ají pepper and possibly lime or lemon juice and vinegar. And it's just a condiment. You put it on meat, you put it on all kinds of stuff, just like you would chimichurri. So that's typically what these are for. And again, you can kind of cut that up and use it to spice up food and everything. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat half of this, and I'm going to save some for the goût mélange. So I'm just going to do half. And may God have mercy on my soul. And the thing is, it's not so much like Claudia was going like, oh my God, you're going to be paying everything. It's not like the Carolina Reaper. So the pain here is immediate while it's in my mouth, and it dissipates shortly afterwards. This is like if you've ever eaten like chopped habanero. It goes away. I don't feel it going all the way down. I don't feel it in my stomach. I don't feel it in my intestines. I don't get capsaicin cramps from stuff that's habanero hot. But I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hot. So here we go. All right. Ají rojo. It has like a sweet flavor. For some reason, this one doesn't really have as much heat as the amarillo. Well, kind of odd. It's just pepper flavor, and not hot at all. So I guess it varies between 30,000 and 70,000. But this one isn't even jalapeno hot. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you a trivia question, but we can do that right now. Since the ají rojo pepper is from Peru, let's ask a Peruvian trivia question. What type of dish is the Peruvian dish cuy? What type of dish is the Peruvian dish cuy? You guys should know this. We've done it. We've reviewed it. Cuy. All right. So this has a really almost like a smoky flavor, which is really odd. It has a kind of a smoky flavor. Like some peppers have like the one thing I love about bell pepper, and sometimes I'll mix bell pepper with one of the spicier peppers, and the reason that I'll mix those together is because bell pepper has this fruity flavor. It's really, really nice. And some of the other peppers, like the hotter, especially the hotter ones, the hotter they get, the less flavor they have. This one is kind of odd because it doesn't really have that fruity pepper flavor. It has like a smoky flavor, which is really, really odd. It's a very thin skin. The pepper has a very thin skin. Claudia was wondering why dudes felt wet. Seriously? If she was asking you that, Jules, tell her it's Milo. Tell her Milo is on Doodle. Nice hand. Pigeon's a good guess. Pigeon. In some places where they eat pigeon, usually if you go into a restaurant and you're going to order pigeon, you don't order pigeon, you order squab, usually called squab. The exception of that, I think, I'm trying to remember what year that was, like 2006, 2007, maybe somewhere around there. I ate at a place called the Monroe. It was a pub in Liverpool called the Monroe. and it said pigeon on the menu, pigeon. They didn't bother saying squab and everything, pigeon, and it was served with bubble and squeak. If you have not had bubble and squeak, you should try bubble and squeak. It is a British. I want to say it's a condiment. It's made of onion and I can't remember what else it is. There's two things, onion and something else, and they call it bubble and squeak because that's the sound it makes when you're cooking it. I'm going to give that pepper a thumbs up, but trending downward slightly. Trending downward slightly because it just doesn't seem to have any heat whatsoever, which is really odd. And I would think that it's an ají pepper, and it's supposed to have like a 30,000 to 70,000 Scoville heat unit, and to me this one doesn't. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. So yeah, I could even eat the whole one and not have any issues. Our question was, what type of dish is the Peruvian specialty? Cuy. Miguel said capybara. Isan said pigeon. Janice Yamanaka said guinea pig. Guinea pig. No, Jules, I think it was right because peppers turn certain colors when they ripen. Right? This one is ají rojo because it's red when it's ripe. The odd part about that is the ají amarillo amarillo is Spanish for yellow. And if you remember seeing the pepper, it's kind of an orange color, but they call it ají amarillo because when you're cooking with it, it turns yellow. So it's orange, fresh, but when you cook it, it turns yellow. So that's why they call it ají amarillo. So yeah, the thumbs up, nice smoky flavor and everything, but thumbs trending downward slightly because where's the heat? It's just not there. It's not there whatsoever. All righty. So we have 15 minutes left. All right. So we're going to do goût mélange, and then if we have time after goût mélange, we'll talk. So we can do that. We'll talk about Colombia because we're here. We might as well talk about it, right? I'm sure you guys have lots of questions about Colombia, and I will answer to the best of my abilities, being a Colombian novice. I mean, I've been here a bunch of times. I'm here right now. I've been here a bunch of times, but I still don't consider I'm still, learning so much about it. And I'm always seeing something different every time I come back and everything. So what's that bird you eat but have to cover your head when eating it? It is the ortolan bunting. The ortolan bunting. Yeah, so there's this society of people, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Miguel, they eat it feathers and all. So they get the bird drunk. They put the bird in like a glass thing, and the bird gets drunk, and then like I don't know if the bird dies from getting drunk or the bird is just drunk, and then they put hoods over their face and they eat it. So that there's varying theories on why they cover their head. Some say it's for guilt, so they don't have to feel guilty about the fact that they just killed a bird by getting it drunk and they're going to eat it, feathers and all. Maybe that's what it is. Who really knows? It's kind of an ancient thing, but in some places, most of the places where they would do it is illegal. But I think some places that still do it. I don't really have there's some things like casu marzu. I would love to eat actual casu marzu in Sardinia. But ortolan bunting, where you're getting a bird drunk and then eating it and everything with the hood over your head, it's not my bag, baby. Yeah, culty and weird, exactly. That's crazy. I remember you talking about it. Oh, okay. I probably did. I mean, I talk about a lot of stuff. That's why I'm here. All right, let me move the keyboard out of the way, but it's too late now because it's covered in Milo. I didn't even need that Milo. I didn't even need it because I just had it handy just in case. So I'm gonna cut up the rest of that pepper and put that in. Yeah, it really is a really nice flavor, a nice smoky flavor. But I'm like, where's the heat? It has no heat. So let me cut this. You guys can't see me cutting it, but I'm cutting it. You can hear me cutting it, right? Oh, this has some seeds in it. Maybe this part will be hot. All right, there we go. That should be enough. Let's see. Yep. There it is. All right. Let's do the papayuelo. Put some of that in there. Oh, yep, there's the heat. It was hiding in the end. Papayuelo. I'm going to just put the seeds in there because, to hell with it. I ate some of the seeds. I hope that's okay. This could be our last live stream. Let me cut those up a little bit. Again, what did I say? Like a cross between a mango and a grapefruit, flavor-wise. All right, let's see. What do we got? Oh, we got our, what was that one? Rosca what? Jumbo Rosca. Jumbo Rosca. Somebody took a bite out of Randy's Donuts. All right. Which reminds me, we do have a Randy's Donut episode coming out soon. Let's see, when is that? Randy's Donut episode is, I can tell you when that is. Unless I change it. But right now, Randy's Donut is scheduled for December 4th. December 4th. Meanwhile, the other room, you're getting so much trouble, dudes is getting... No loyalty from him. No loyalty whatsoever. Okay, here's our besitos de novia, our girlfriend kisses. We'll just kind of shave some of that off. That's going everywhere too. Gonna need a wet vac in here. Vac, V-A-C, wet vac. Come on, seriously, people. Oh, that's just falling apart like everywhere. All right, fine, whatever. Okay, there's that. Let's see. You know what I'm gonna do just for fun? I'm gonna put some Milo in there. The powdered Milo, because we don't have really much left. So I'm gonna put some of that in there. There we go. Sure, why not? And our other rosca, which is the rosquitas de yuca integrales. Integrales? I think that's how you say that. The one that tastes like Doodle's dog snacks. They really do taste like Doodle's dog snacks. And that sounds bad, but it's not a bad thing that they taste like Doodle's dog snacks. Because, like I said, I feel good about the fact that we give Doodle snacks that are good. I mean, that taste good, that, even we like them. So, well, I can't speak for Claudia. I don't know if she eats them. I know I do. I don't know if she does. Let's see. What are we missing? We are missing, our tocinetas that are nothing like tocino. Our baconless tocinetas. No, one just falls apart. I'm going to call them bacon. I honestly think they would have been better. I would just call them like chicharron or something. Oh, what a mess. I'm going to have to get a cleaning crew in here afterwards. All right, our Super Ricas Super Crokantes. Papas fritas con cascara. Sabor costillas. Costillitas. Barbecue. BBQ. Our barbecue chips that don't taste like barbecue. Am I disappointed? Yeah, a little. Dude wants to do tax. When he gets back out and starts working again, then he can ask for due tax. The treats I hide my cat's meds in actually don't smell bad, like chicken and you extra cat nutrients in them. So something that you wouldn't want to try, Nashies, right? So that's the thing about cat food. Like they say, never eat. Like if you're a human and you eat like the canned dog food, it might not really be that bad for you, but canned cat food really would, because cats' digestive system are completely different than dogs, and they can eat a lot of stuff that, you would not want to feed an animal and everything. Eli, welcome, Eli. Dude is lying in the sun drying his furs. Well, it's just he's out in this, Claudia was out. She's home now. So he doesn't want to have anything to do with me because she's home. So she's the alpha. All right. And now our cheese tris. Is that how you would say Cheetos in Spanish? Maybe, I don't know. But these are really they're Cheetos. Look, they're not honest. They're Cheetos. But Nashies, is it something that you can eat or you would eat? The cat treats? Yeah, the cat treats. Is it something you can eat or you would try? Tris. Don't bring me down. Tris. Like that? Is that everything? It seems like we're missing something. Maybe we are, maybe we're not. Let's see. We got the kisses, we got the Rosca, we got the pepper, we got the other Roscas, we got the Tocinetas, we got the papayuelos, I think we got everything. I don't know, for some reason, it's a little bit more diminutive. All right. Where's Mr. Spoon? We even put Milo in there. We put Milo and Doodle. It has nothing harmful for humans in it. Well, have you tried it, Nashies? The fruit, the papayuelo, I put that in first. Not first, I put the pepper in first, and then I put the papayuelo in it. Janice. Yeah, I put that in. So now I just got like 2 empty skins. Actually, you know what? I think I can scrape some of that fruit off there. Well, let's do this first. So. All allergic to the fish oil. Yeah. Well, then don't do it. Well, pepper cuts through there. Why is it that the half that I ate had no heat, but the other half does? Well, I'm tasting it through here. That's really strong. Mm-hmm. Yes, Jules. It's stainless steel. It's not silver, but it is relatively new. We were at it was one of the festivals they had in the plaza, and Claudia said, do you like that? And I said, yeah. So she got one for me. You see the little red spots is the pepper. I gotta tell you, the papayuelo in there, really nice flavor. So I think what it is that the fruit flavor that's missing from the pepper, what papayuelo makes up for that. So it's like that. So I have this one, and maybe we can make something with this that has the other pepper in it. I think it will be a nice combination. The heat from the pepper, and the fruit flavor in there. I think it would be really nice. This is for the most part kind of like not a lot of flavor. A lot of crunchiness to it, but not a lot of flavor. The main flavors that I'm getting in there. Now I would think we get the chocolatey and malt flavor from the Milo. We really don't. Now remember, the barbecue ribs and the tocinetas artificial flavors, so you're not getting that. So you're getting mostly the grains, flavors of the grains. We're not even getting the cheese flavor from the Colombian Cheetos. The only thing that really makes this interesting is the papayuelo and the pepper. I'm gonna go to thumbs in the middle. You know, it's not horrible, but it's kind of like, I don't want to say bland, but just like a little bit flavorless. And I'm not gonna eat the rest of this. I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, and so I try to stay away from it. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but in Colombia, when you go into the store and you're going to buy snacks and everything, the thing that's nice about it is they do come in these small sizes, like they do even like these little small sizes, the chips, small sizes and everything, which is kind of nice because I don't like to waste food. And it's nice if you go into a place, you don't feel like this one, unfortunately, I had to buy the big bag. But in the other, things are much different here than in the States, anyways. So in the U.S., okay, I got Rosca's on the floor now. I'm just a mess today. So when you go to a restaurant here, they don't generally give you. Some places do. Some places give you like heaps of food and everything, but they don't generally give you a lot of food. But they give you enough food that it's satisfying, right? And the thing is most places it's really served attractively. So you go into a place, you order something, and like even breakfast, right? You'll have your eggs. You might have some other, some kind of other protein besides egg, like, some sort of meat or something. You might have some sort of bread. You might have some cheese. You might have something like that. And you have it all nicely arranged on the plate. And maybe you're going to spend like $6, $7, something like that for a really nice breakfast. And like just enough. Like sometimes maybe you feel like you want a little something afterwards and everything, and you can enjoy your coffee and everything. But it's like, I don't want to say it's healthy because it's not necessarily healthy. But there's not a lot of fried stuff. There's not. It's just the food it's cleaner. The food is cleaner here, and I think it's partly because when you do, I mean, like you go to a store and you're looking for snacks, right? You see this. There's no black triangles on it, but then you go and you get. Let's see which one had the. Like this one, right? So you can kind of make choices like that. It just so happens that the ones that are more interesting mostly don't have those warnings on it. But it's so much different here. It's just like the food is cleaner, and in general, I like go to a restaurant. The food is it's served well. You get just enough. It's not really expensive. And then when you go to the grocery store and buy snacks like that, you can buy the small one, and you can choose wisely as to which ones are going to be good and which ones are not. The warnings make you feel like you're doing something naughty. Yeah, so like I can imagine what are these that I'm stepping on? Oh, is the fake bacon. If you go into a store like in the United States, let's say they did that in the United States and they had to put labels on it in the United States, is like you would just be looking at rows and rows in the aisles of excess saturated fat, excess sugar, excess sodium, and stuff like that. And it would make you think twice about what you're buying. So and it does that here as well. So like when you go into like a big grocery store like Éxito is like upstairs they have furnishings, televisions, stuff like that, and then down on the first floor, I think the whole first floor, if I'm not mistaken, it's groceries. It's huge. They're a huge grocery store. Huge. Well, I don't know if you can accurately call it a grocery store, but a huge store, lots of groceries, and when you look on the shelves, those triangles kind of jump out at you, and they just tell you like, hey, excess sodium in here. And sometimes you're going to go like, okay, but I really want some sort of potato chip and everything, and they all say like too much saturated fat, but I want something like that, so I'm going to roll the dice on that one, right? But it's kind of nice that they do that, and it's kind of they have that. But yeah, absolutely. Those naughty quail eggs. Did we eat those, Jules? The naughty quail eggs? Did we do those for a live stream? Because I don't remember. I remember seeing those, but I don't remember. Did we get those? Did we eat those? And did we do them for a live stream? They would never here in the U.S. They'd have to make foods without excess. Well, I mean that's the thing. They don't have to make foods with excess preservatives and sugar and stuff on it. But if they do, they have to put a warning label on it. So yeah, I don't think it would ever fly there. I don't think that would ever pass. I think whatever the lobbies are for those, the companies that make that would never allow that to happen. But it's nice that here you could make a wise and informed choice. Well, yeah, but what was it for, Jules? Was it a live stream or was it what did we do that for? Was it an episode or a live stream? Okay, well, I can see by the old clock on the wall. Oh no, I don't have a clock on the wall, but I can see the time, and we are at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time, and that means that unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave you guys. But just for now, I will see you guys later. Again, nice that we caught up on some birthdays. So if it is your birthday, like when we're doing a live stream or something, let us know. We will celebrate it with you. So I just want to thank you again. Love spending time with you guys. I know this. I know this. You may just say, like Val, you're saying that, but it's absolutely true. I could not ask for a better community. It's just fun spending time with you guys. It's nice communicating with you guys and sharing things with you guys and everything. And you guys are great. You guys are, like I said, I think in the history of us live streaming, we only banned one person, and they were just a troll that just kind of came in. So they weren't even like a regular person in here. And you guys are really amazing. I could not ask for a better community for our live streams. So again, we're almost, I think we're at 6,075 or something like that, somewhere around that, which is not gigantic in YouTube terms, but it's just a great. I love the audience. I love the community. You guys continue to leave comments, please, and I will continue to answer them. We're small enough that that we're not like inundated. Like I imagine somebody like LA Beast can't get to all the comments, can't get to all the comments in the chat and everything. We're still small, so we can. So keep me honest. If I miss anything, let me know. Say, hey, Val asked a question, you didn't answer it, or let me know what somebody else says. So please let me know. Also, if you have not subscribed to our channel and you enjoy our channel, then please do. Please subscribe to us because it helps us out. We do monetize, but we don't make that much money. I think we spend a lot more money on this channel than we actually make. So I appreciate when you guys do subscribe, leave, smash that thumbs up, leave a comment, and I will respond to that comment. Please do so. And also for the other channels that we recommend. So if you like Janice Yamanaka, like Joshua Maxwell, Tom, old guy in Colorado, all these people with these channels that we recommend. Now, if you don't know who they are, if you go to our main page and you look down to the featured channels, you'll see who they are down there. Some that you guys know, some that you may not know, but we wouldn't recommend them to you if we didn't think you would like them. So when you watch these channels and turns out you do like them, then do them the favor also of subscribing, leaving comment, doing the thumbs up and everything, because it helps them out as well. So I truly appreciate your support over these, I don't know how many years. I just have to go back and take a look. I mean, the channel itself is probably, we're over 10 years, but I'm not sure how long we've been doing the live streaming, but really appreciate you supporting us and you being with us on this crazy ride that we share together. I thank you all so much. Some people have a little bit of the weekend left. Some people are already into the weekday. Either way, whatever little time you have there, then please take care and enjoy it. But remember that it's crazy out there, so please be careful. Take care of yourselves. Definitely take care of others, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.